Welcome to News Nexus. Today we're taking a deep look at a haunting story. The rise of modern ghost towns in America. When we think of ghost towns, the images that come to mind are dusty western settlements, abandoned mining camps, or forgotten railroad stops. But right now, across the United States, entire modern cities are experiencing the same fate. These aren't small towns lost to history. They are places that once thrived with factories, schools, busy malls, and vibrant neighborhoods. Today, many stand half-empty. Streets lined with boarded-up homes, shopping centers echoing with silence, communities fading into shadows of what they once were. So, how does a modern city become a ghost town? And which American cities are facing this grim transformation? Over the next half hour, we'll uncover the causes, the places, and the people behind this unsettling trend. No city becomes a ghost town overnight. Decline comes slowly, one family leaving at a time, one factory shutting down, one school closing its doors. Economic collapse, housing crises, rising crime, environmental disasters, all combine into a powerful downward spiral. For decades, the Rust Belt was the engine of American industry. Cities like Detroit, Cleveland, and Youngstown thrived on steel, cars, and manufacturing. Generations of families built their lives on the promise of stable jobs and affordable homes. But when globalization and automation took hold, those jobs vanished. Tax bases collapsed, neighborhoods emptied, and entire cities began to look less like centers of opportunity and more like cautionary tales. Take Cleveland, Ohio. In 1950, it was America's fifth largest city, home to nearly 1 million people. Today, just over 370,000 remain. Drive through Cleveland and you'll see block after block of vacant lots, boarded houses, empty sidewalks. There are efforts at revival downtown, yes, but the scars of abandonment are everywhere. Or look at St. Louis, Missouri. Once a proud hub on the Mississippi River, its population has fallen by more than 60%. Some neighborhoods are so hollowed out that trees are pushing through sidewalks, and wildlife has returned where children once played. For many residents, whole sections of the city now feel ghostly. Gary, Indiana tells another stark story. Built by the steel industry, Gary once had 180,000 people. Today, fewer than 70,000 remain. The city is filled with abandoned schools, collapsing churches, and houses rotting away. Photographers call it haunting. Residents call it heartbreaking. And then there's Youngstown, Ohio. Once 170,000 strong, now fewer than 65,000 remain. Thousands of homes have been torn down to shrink the city's footprint. Still, the silence lingers. Walking through certain streets feels like stepping into a deserted film set. The echoes of the past hanging heavy in the air. On the West Coast, the decline looks different. In Stockton, California, the housing crash of 2008 left scars that remain to this day. Foreclosures swept through entire neighborhoods, and Stockton even declared bankruptcy. Though there's been some recovery, you can still find rows of abandoned homes. Silent reminders of families forced to leave their dreams behind. In Vallejo and Richmond, crime and economic stagnation have left downtown streets eerily quiet. Once lively storefronts are shuttered, families leave. What's left behind is the unmistakable stillness of decline. Even America's biggest cities aren't immune. San Francisco, long celebrated as one of the most desirable cities in the world, is facing an exodus. High costs of living, homelessness, and crime have drained energy from the heart of the city. Walk through downtown and you'll see it. Empty office towers, closed flagship stores, sidewalks where only echoes remain. It's not abandoned, but at times, San Francisco feels like a ghost city trapped inside a living one. Chicago tells a similar story. On the south and west sides, entire blocks have been emptied. Homes boarded, schools closed, lots overgrown. Ghost towns, inside a great metropolis. Then there are the ghost towns shaped by disaster. Along the Gulf Coast, hurricanes have left permanent scars. New Orleans' lower Ninth Ward never fully recovered from Hurricane Katrina. Nearly 2 decades later, many homes still sit abandoned. Streets are half empty, and families never returned. In Louisiana and Mississippi, coastal fishing towns have been swallowed by storms or the sea itself. One hurricane too many, and entire communities give up. In the West, Drought and wildfire are creating their own version of ghost towns. Parts of California, Arizona, and Nevada already struggle to keep water flowing and homes safe. As the climate crisis deepens, some towns may simply become unlivable. So why does all of this matter? Ghost towns are not just empty buildings. They are broken dreams, silent evidence of communities unraveling. Every boarded house was once a family's home. Every shuttered school held children's laughter. Every closed factory once provided hope. Ghost towns remind us that prosperity is fragile, and that without stability, any community, no matter how proud, can fade away. Yet not every story ends in silence. Some cities are proving that rebirth is possible. Detroit, long the face of decline, is seeing signs of revival downtown, with new businesses, artists, and residents breathing life into the Motor City. Pittsburgh reinvented itself from steel to technology and healthcare. Even Cleveland has sparks of cultural renewal, investing in healthcare, sports, and the arts. These stories remind us, decline is not destiny. With vision, leadership, and resilience, cities can be reborn. But the big question remains. How do we prevent decline before it begins? How do we prepare for industries collapsing? How do we protect vulnerable cities from climate disasters? How do we keep communities safe and affordable so people don't feel forced to leave? There are no easy answers, but the rise of modern ghost towns should serve as a warning. If we ignore the signs, the list of empty cities will only grow. Thank you for spending this time with us here on News Nexus. We've explored the eerie reality of America's modern ghost towns and the lessons they carry for the future. If you found this story important, please like, share, and subscribe. And in the comments, tell us, have you ever walked through a place that felt like a ghost town? What did it feel like to stand in those empty streets? This is News Nexus, bringing you the deeper stories behind the headlines. Until next time, stay informed, stay thoughtful, and stay connected.